Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here today to just put up my Module 3 video for week 3, and it is on growing your professional networks. And I'm going to read you the introduction that it has in the workbook real quick. Networking is creating a set of relationships which provide the support, feedback, information, and access that helps you accomplish your goals and enriches your life. Effective networking results in mutually beneficial relationships which provide depth, breadth, and leverage to increase both parties' operational, personal, and strategic effectiveness. Uh, the first part is just says that networking should be reciprocal, an ongoing process. So you should always be trying to improve your networking skills and also improving the people that you surround yourself with in the workplace. It should be a set of productive relationships, something like I said in the introduction that both parties can benefit from, yourself and your other coworkers. Intentional and strategic. You should have a purpose behind your relationships. It shouldn't just be I know this person just to know them. Everything you do should I think should have a purpose, and you should have a strategy behind your relationship in the workplace so that both parties can reach their goals and be successful. And networking should be a method to help create opportunities, solve problems, and achieve goals. So later on in the workbook, there's a little video that you can watch on YouTube. And what the video says is that networking, like when you're going to talk to your boss about something like a pay raise or different hours or something like that, you should always set an appointment. Bosses don't want to be caught off guard. Your employee different. They don't want to be caught in the last minute and ask a serious question. So always make an appointment when um, when you're going to talk to your boss. And when you're also talking to your boss, you want to um, have a goal and have a mission when going in. Maybe not so much a to-do list, but something you know you want to get accomplished, like better hours, a better paycheck, something that you know you want to have by the time you walk out of that meeting. And if you don't have that, don't just close off the conversation or the make sure it's ongoing by saying, "Hey, we can finish this conversation at a later date when the time's right," or when would this be available to me if they say no. And that's just kind of a summary of what the video said. The first activity that they give me to do is called the network grid, and what it's supposed to do. I picked the 7 people that I closely work with at my job, and I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about that. For the past couple years, I've been a tutor and a coach for back at my old high school. I tutor kids in math, and then I work with the coaches and the football and basketball team all summer. And I'm just like an extra coach almost for the coaching staff. My advisor is the head coach for both football and basketball, and that's who I played with under when I was at Eastern Randolph. So I know a lot of these guys. I was once one of their players that they coach. For my 7 people, I picked 7 different of the coaches that are on the football staff, and just the different ways I interact with them. It gives you a list of things that you're supposed to say, okay, this person in my networking system does this. And so the first one is personal support. And it says the ability to vent or discuss a tough problem in ways that help you get back on track. And the only person that really affected me that way was my advisor, and that was the head coach, because he's the one I talk to the most because he is my direct advisor, and he's the one I'm directly under. So he's really the only one, if at all, I talk about my personal life. Next is technical experience. A lot of the older coaches that are on the staff, or this technical expertise is something that I can learn from. Some like different football skills, different basketball skills. So just several of the coaches that are on the staff that have been there a while are the ones I put down for that. Information, which is helps you solve problems or capitalize on different opportunities. Just once again, my advisor and one other coach, the other coach that I'm closest to. Those are the two that help me with the information part. Let's see. There was a couple other ones that kind of stood out to me. Decision making. Obviously, my advisor is the one that helps me make the most of my decisions. He guides me a lot of times on which drills to do and different things like that. But also the other coaches that I work with. I work with the wide receivers and the defensive line during practice. And so the coaches that help me with those drills are the ones that we decided together which drills to do for that specific day. I thought this was a really cool activity. It kind of showed who I most interacted with at work. It's kind of weird because I'm not at just a normal job. I'm a coach at a high school with a bunch of other coaches there, and we all are kind of working together towards one goal, but we each have different subjects and categories that we are best in, and we're kind of independent in that way. But the next activity was an interview that you pick one of those people on your list and you interviewed them, and they gave you some the questions to ask. And so I'm going to go through a couple of these that I thought were inspirational, or I thought kind of stuck to me a little bit. I interviewed, his name is Mark Heilig. He was my offensive line coach when I was in high school. So I'm coming back to kind of interview him and kind of ask him some of those questions, looking from the coach's perspective, that I really don't know him as much. I know him as a player-to-coach relationship, but now as a coach-to-coach relationship, things are a little bit different. One of the bigger questions was, what do you enjoy most about your work? And he said, watching kids develop. As a coach and as a teacher that I plan to be within the next year or so, developing kids is what my life is all about. Helping kids get better at math, helping students get better at football, basketball, in the weight room, whatever it is. Your goal as a professional educator is to develop children into becoming ready for adulthood. And that was just kind of cool how that's what he enjoyed most. And I mean, that's the whole point of becoming a teacher. Let's see. He said, one of the other questions, what advice would you give someone interested in this type of work? And he said, have thick skin, which I thought was kind of odd. And he said, just let things go. And I've noticed this past year there's been a lot of rumors about different coaches leaving, different coaches not wanting to coach this, and it's kind of a weird situation that's going on. But having thick skin definitely is going to help, not just in coaching, but in any job. There's going to be people that don't like you. There's going to be people that don't appreciate the things that you do and talk bad about you behind their back. And the rumor mill is always going around. But having thick skin is definitely good advice for me going into the teaching and coaching field. And I'm sure it's a great thing to have going into the several other professions. And then the last main question that I asked him that kind of stuck is, how are you involved in the community, and how has that affected your work in your job? And he said he is very involved in his church. He tries to go to other school functions that he's not necessarily a coach of, or if it's not even related to sports. So he said he tries to go to the chorus concerts, the band concerts, some of the soccer games, different things like that he's not directly involved in, but it's associated with the school. So it not only makes him look good, it makes the whole school look good because their faculty is involved. And that's something that I want to be involved in, is the entire school, not just football and basketball, or the sports that I'm particularly coaching. I think it's important for school-wide bonding and school-wide dedication, that you support the other aspects of your high school or anywhere that you work. It's important to support your networking system. That way you can all achieve your goal at the end of the day. And that's pretty much it for this section. I think it's very important that you have the group of people that you work with that you can trust and that you get along with. But not only that, you have a goal in mind and you are looking to the future and being successful. All right, thanks, guys.